get this shit. Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Ooh, top of the morning, 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 top of the morning. Ooh.
We present to you Around Productions.
What's good, everybody? If you're first time viewing my content of this video, like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Today, I saw a tweet today on Instagram and I had to get my thoughts out on this because I've seen this happen a lot of times and I've kind of touched up on this in a couple of videos. But concerning the tweet at hand, let's get into this. Shaka Bars, he has a great platform on Instagram. I personally don't follow him, but I see his Instagram content here and there. But he posted this tweet that somebody posted on their Instagram story, and it says, "I hate that black women can't express emotions without having an attitude. Everyone else gets to be exhausted, disappointed, and frustrated, but we have an attitude." And I've seen this before, never really paid much attention to it, tried to disregard it, whatever the case is. And this tweet was tweeted or made back in 2019 by Miss Allie Nicole. Shout out to her. Beautiful black woman based upon her profile picture. Shaka Bar's caption says, "Black women deal with sexism, classism, racism, and colorism." Now this goes back to this whole narrative that the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected person in America is the black woman. A lot of people like to quote that from Malcolm X. What people don't understand is that we live in a different time now, you know, and so the playing field is being played out in different ways. Now, first and foremost, let me just say that I do understand to a certain point where they are coming from when it comes to the perspective of black women not being able to express themselves. Whenever it comes to black people, because we're so passionate and because we come off a certain type of way and because of the tone in our voice, it makes it comes off as if we're being over emotional, we're being dramatic, we're doing the most. Now, when we're dealing with the scenario here, the way that I interpret this is that we are given a pass for how certain messages are displayed by certain black women, and they get emotional. They will say certain stuff and act in a certain way that isn't functional. Now, we say that we are a dysfunctional set of people. So if we are a dysfunctional set of people, how are we to say that the way that we express ourselves emotionally is functional? According to your narrative, if we are a dysfunctional set of people, then by default, we can't say that the way that we entirely express ourselves emotionally is functional. And when we're dealing with women who express themselves in a certain way that may come off emotional, because it is a emotional reaction, and the things that they're saying in their response or the way that they're expressing themselves is coming off with a nasty attitude, then we have to call that out. You can't use a narrative or an agenda or whatever the scenario may be. You can't try and paint this picture that you're the one being disrespected or you're the one that's being casted to the side or being put down, and then you try and go with this narrative that black women are always having their voice silenced, whatever the scenario may be, because you're saying stuff that is out of the ordinary and dysfunctional. For an example, if a woman gets mistreated by a man, a black man in particular, she will go out and say that black men don't care about us, black men need to protect us more, and this is a emotional reaction. Now, instead of you coming to terms with this individual black man and saying that he needs to get in order, he needs to get his life together, you will use your emotional reaction. You will use your emotions because your emotions will get the best of you. So you will use your emotions and you will blot out on social media in front of hundreds, in front of thousands of people that black men need to protect us more, black men need to do better, black men this, black men that, and you will point the finger at black men instead of this individual black man. Another thing I noticed on social media is that they love to paint black women as if they're the only ones that go through this form of disrespect, whatever the scenario may be. And when it comes to the basis of black people, it's just different avenues in which we are being disrespected or in which we have certain disadvantages. For people to paint the picture as if black women are the only ones or the top ones, right? The number one people to go through, the number one set of females to go through some form of oppression or neglection or disrespect is beyond me. Because when you have this scenario where you are painting out that the black woman is the most disrespected and neglected, not only do you paint the picture in which she is to be deemed to be disrespected and neglected, but at the same time, you have this pandering going on in the black community because the black woman is God. So with this being said, you have a lot of these niggas that will pander. A lot of these Negroes, they will pander to this black woman, right? Any black woman in particular. And they will give excuses for whatever she does and however she does it, because some way, somehow, a man had to be involved. Am I saying women can't express themselves? No. Am I saying that women can't express themselves emotionally? No. Am I saying that a way in which a certain woman expresses themselves is right or wrong? No. But I'm saying there is a certain way that you go about certain things. If you feel like you're being disrespected by men or a certain man, you don't attack the majority and say that it's the majority's fault. You attack these certain men for what they do. Now there are certain women that will try and say, well, you may do this as well. You, Tyrone, you're the one that always do this as well. I have certain videos where I have it labeled that women do this or do women do that, right? But I always emphasize in each video that we're dealing with a certain category of women. We're dealing with a certain category of females. And I've made videos on this, not only with this scenario at hand, but I've also made videos on how with certain women, I've had these conversations with certain females that I know in my life, that I understand you're going through this type of pain. I understand your emotion. I understand what you're going through. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in high school. I know people personally that went through this, but you can't paint out every black man to be against you because it does nothing for you. You can't paint yourself out as being the most disrespected and neglected, because guess what? You can't get respect from anybody if you're painted out as being the most disrespected. If you call yourself a sidewalk, people gonna walk on you. That's all there is to it. You can't be out here talking about you're the most disrespected and neglected and unprotected and then complain about you being the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected. So dealing with the scenario at hand, you have women who feel like, certain females out here who feel like they can't express themselves, certain men out here, certain black men out here who feel like they can express themselves as well, because if they express themselves, then they come off as, oh, you must be gay, or who hurt you, or, you know, you're not a real man, this, that, and the third. Their masculinity, their manhood gets attacked. You know what I'm saying? So now you have this playing field where men get disrespected. You have straight black men who are being accused of this, that, and the third. The white men of the black community. It's this ongoing battle. In the caption, when he said that black women deal with sexism, colorism, classism, and racism, it's as if black men don't deal with that as much as black women do. It goes back to this whole narrative that the whole purpose of Malcolm's quote of black women being on the top of the pedestal for being at the bottom of the barrel. It is not something to be proud of. It's not something to brag about. You know, it's given delusion. And stop trying to compete with who can be the most oppressed and disrespected in the society. It looks stupid as hell, and while you focusing on who's the most oppressed, you can't rise up and be successful in this society. I don't have issues with pointing out problems within black people. The issue that I have is that you complain, you point fingers without giving solutions. Now I know Shaka Bars and Ali Nicole, I'm pretty sure they didn't mean anything by this, especially with Shaka Bars. I know he didn't intentionally mean anything by this concerning the basis of the message at hand. But I'm just coming at this respectfully concerning the basis here, because I know there are a lot of people who will take this tweet and push it and say that, you know, black women, their voices are always silenced. They're always at the bottom of the barrel, and they pander and pander and pander and pander to these set of women. And it's just not true. It's a propagated narrative. You have some of these black feminists out here who try to express their emotions, right? And when it always come off as an attitude, it gets to the scenario of you have these women who will say stuff out of the ordinary, as I was saying before. Everyone else who is exhausted, disappointed, and frustrated don't try and attack their own set of people. You have feminists out here, when they get disrespected by a man, black men need to do better. Black men ain't ish. Black men are the weakest link. You don't have any other set of people that will say straight white men are the weakest link. Asian women out here talking about straight Asian men are the weakest link. You don't have Hispanic women out here talking about straight Hispanic men are the white men or the black. You don't have that going on. You don't have an attack against their own men who build the foundation of their families. It doesn't happen. And now you have this scenario where you have black men being attacked, being accused of being homophobic because of the whole situation with Lil Nas and the baby. But share your thoughts in the comment section below, whether I'm on point or whether I'm not on point. Just let me know in the comment section below about how you feel about this certain situation at hand. Share your own thoughts as well concerning the whole basis at hand. Did I hit it on the nail or did I not hit it on the nail? Just let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, I'm Toronto. Thank you for watching this video. Like this video, subscribe to YouTube channel, and share this video with other people. Until next time, I'm Toronto, and I am out.
You know I will provide that good shit for you. You know I will provide that good shit for you. You know I will provide that good shit for you. You know I will provide that. Look like Papa got a brand new bag. Any man who mad, tell him ooh fucking fam too bad. Known to spit with the coldest with no particular motive. I've grown a bit till I've noticed what phony bitches are bogus. I bring doom to any MF, I'm a mad villain. I son niggas, my songs give you a dad feeling. The groovy new emperor, known to move temperatures. Life's a bitch but she keeps sending me nude pics of her. She let it all hang out without shame, through stories of each previous spouse about fame. Trying to remove a skirt made of doubt and clout games, then penetrate her until her mouth spit out change. Nevertheless, they can't measure my fresh. No rest till the devil is stressed. Tell him I'm blessed. I'm smiling, staring down a barrel of fear. Any competitor